Hi, everybody. Um, I just thought I'd do a quick video for the equinox, which was exact yesterday, but it's a 3-day vortex or portal for accelerating our consciousness and our transformation. And depending on the hemisphere you're in, the lesson is different. So for those that are in the southern hemisphere, as I am at the moment, this is the spring equinox, the halfway point between the solstices when the light is gaining. But the equinox is the time of equal light and shadow, equal feminine, masculine energy. So the equinox, regardless of the hemisphere that you're in, is a great time for cleansing and restoring the balance. You know, we always have the full moon in either Libra or Aries, which is the axes of finding a balance between the needs of self and the needs of other around the two equinoxes that we have each year. So if you're in the southern hemisphere, this is the spring equinox, and this in the tantric tradition was known as the white wedding. That's where that comes from. And it wasn't about wearing a white dress and looking, sexually chaste. That's a later distortion that was, applied over the top. The white wedding was in fact a wedding to the self. Yeah, so this happens when the sun is in Virgo, the sign of the priestess, which the word originally for priestess was virgin. Okay, so to be virginal was not to be sexually celibate, but rather somebody who was unto themselves. Okay, the word virgin meaning a woman unto herself, a woman who looked to herself and took full responsibility for her needs, meeting her needs. So the opportunity for those of us in the southern hemisphere is to look at where perhaps we have not honored ourselves in the last annual cycle, and making vows that honor who we are as a divine being, as a soul having a human experience at the 7 gates, the chakras. And those who have done my inner goddess program or my Kundalini raising retreats, this is part of it, where we take vows to wed ourselves on the understanding that whatever unions we create, they're a reflection of the state of our inner union between the feminine and masculine energies within us, specifically the feminine and masculine archetypes or faces of the sacred feminine and masculine that together comprise our full psyche, which is feminine and masculine. So for those in the southern hemisphere, this is a time of exercising discernment, okay, of identifying what it is you want, what it is you don't want, what you will accept, what you won't, and really making a commitment to yourself to honor what it is your feelings, your inner self is guiding you to do. And look, for the couples that have worked with me over the years, I do actually feel this is a lovely opportunity to observe chastity, if you will, up until Beltane, which is the next seasonal vortex, the rites of spring, when traditionally couples would commit to journey around the seasonal wheel that initiates us through our relationship lessons for another year and a day, having come through the shadow and gone through a death and rebirth, a renewal of the self, in which to make a more enlightened, mature choice. So by abstaining from sexual union from the spring equinox to Beltane, this is an opportunity to invest in one's relationship with oneself and become truly attuned to one's sovereign being, so that you can reassemble all parts of yourself and come to the next pledging of one's love with all aspects integrated and on board. Okay, so that, the fear of commitment comes from not knowing oneself. This is why at Delphi, it was etched into the stone, know thyself, and the understanding that we can't commit to anything, whether it's another person or an enterprise, if we don't know who we are. You know, we're afraid that we're going to make the wrong decision, or that something better is going to come along. We'll miss out on fulfilling our potential. So to invest time journaling, just in quiet contemplation, you know, whether that's giving yourself time in the dozing between coming out of the dreaming and the waking, to really have a meeting with the inner self, to listen to what the inner self is guiding you to do, what actions will put you in right relationship with yourself so you can be in right relationship with others. For those in the Northern Hemisphere, this equinox in the Tantric tradition was known as the Black Wedding, which sounds quite ominous, but it's simply the beginning of the fall, which is why autumn is also known as fall in some countries like the USA. And this is because this is, I suppose, the death knell for immature unions, because it's from this gate, the autumn equinox, down through the shortest day, the longest, darkest time of the seasonal wheel, the winter solstice, that is the most testing time for relationships. Why? Well, as the solar light wanes, the shadow looms larger. And this is when, if we're not conscious, not taking responsibility for our shadow, which is our unconscious thoughts, words, and actions, we unconsciously project it onto those nearest and dearest to us. So this is a time when in the ancient world, people would commit to a path of initiation, to own the shadow, to explore the parts of oneself that they weren't aware of, so they could be more whole, more zen, and more balanced. There's the key to the equinoxes, so that their relationships with friends, family, lovers, everybody could be more balanced. So this is the time of pivoting, adjusting, and recognizing where we've been out of balance. You know, if you've been too insular, it's a time to put yourself out there so you're more available, okay? Or the opposite, if you haven't been available to yourself because you've been, you know, so social, this is a time to come back home to yourself. So yeah, look, the Black Wedding, this is a time when there can be a catalyst that comes up, such as couples having a fight. This can often be a circular argument, something that is karmic, that comes around again and again because it is not resolved. It's kind of swept under the rug or resolved through sex, but not actually repaired. You know, and our ability to repair is indicative of our maturity, you know, and repair only comes through reestablishing trust. And how do we reestablish trust? By seeking to understand the other, okay? If we're completely tunnel vision, only looking at events through our own eyes, then we're not able to have an appreciation of the other's perspective and really understand what it has been like for them. And it's through that clear, honest, transparent, and vulnerable communication that we repair broken trust. So I hope those words are helpful for you on this equinox going into the weekend. And I'll be doing another video for the full moon in Aries. So as we journey up to this full moon, it can be a time when, if we're not conscious, we tend to focus on our own needs and are oblivious to the needs of others, which can create polarization and conflict. So yeah, this is a good time for clearing clutter, cleansing your system, because the energies are high and balanced, and restoring your own sacredness, consecrating your temple in some way. So blessings from Australia, from the Gold Coast, wherever you are in the world. And blessings on your equinox. May it be a time of harmony. Okay, ciao for now. And do stay tuned. If you haven't already seen my free video series, Awakening the Sacred Masculine, that's available now for a limited time, and I'll put a link in the description. And feel free to share this video. Ciao, everybody.